Hi chat, hello, welcome. We're doing another CrossKeys Tourney restream. This is another important one. The winner of this moves on to the play-in tiebreaker race, the 20-person tiebreaker race, and the loser is done. They're done with the tourney. That's it. Moving on to bigger and brighter things. So a lot at stake. Two really good runners. Making it to 5-2 at this point is just nuts in this tournament in general. So, should get some good stuff from these two. Fearagent and Gylgamesh, make sure to hit those exclamation point runners command. Follow them. Watch their games. Feared also does a podcast, which I'm gonna be on at some point this year, I think. I also have my boy Unknown on comms with me today.
Podcast sounds fun.
It does. Podcasts sound fun.
I'm gonna have to check that out and see what's going on with that podcast.
Yeah, there's like that podcast. There's the Gomo podcast. That's another popular one.
Yeah, man, they have a lot of good information, a lot of good stuff to listen to on there for sure. I like the fact that they did that with the randos and broke that apart and kind of gave another avenue instead of just sitting there watching people play the game.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's fun to watch people play and talk about the game, but it's also kind of nifty to just, listen to people talk about the game and hear people's, secret opinions that they obviously wouldn't tell live on stream.
Yeah, difference. Also to kind of get an idea about tech and stuff like that and break down some I don't know, rando theory, if you will, on routing choices and things like that, because that's something that's, when you're doing commentary that you talk about what somebody's thinking at the moment that they get X, Y, and Z, and it's a real big part of playing rando. It's not just knowing Link to the Past, it's knowing what opens up where.
For sure. That's it's fun to pick people's brains too about decision making when it comes to certain parts of the game, certain situations. All right, our runner's going to be starting here shortly. We got Retro TMNT on Gylgamesh's side, and we have Fear the Necrodancer on Fear's side. So I'll probably try and swap back and forth, get some different tunes, because I love the Crypt the Necrodancer is really good music.
Now, don't forget, did you done or did you leave?
I I turned off the auto start options, so I didn't have to join the race. I can just force to start whenever I'm ready.
Oh man, so we got routing divergence, we've got the typical start going up to Witch's Hut, and then starting in Sanctuary, finding out that we're on the pyramid.
Yeah, that'll be nifty.
That's actually one of my favorite Sank spots. I love it when it's there because it's kind of unique in the fact that once you get any kind of Moon Pearl and other axes, you can start doing a lot, and it opens up the Dark World a lot faster than just having to find legit, like, normal Dark World access.
It's kind of one of the things that I do enjoy about, like, inverted key sanity, cross keys, is just the fact that you're usually going to get at least one starting point in the other world. Yeah, of course, bunny walking in the light world kind of stinks, because there's not really... You're going to spend a lot of time checking entrances and not getting to do anything with it, but it's, it's for future planning, future route planning.
Absolutely, and we're getting a Houlihan, and we found out Magic Bat is at the Bad Fairy.
The Bad Fairy. Some people even refer to it as the Shit Fairy. But I wouldn't do that, because, this is a kid's show.
Who calls things the Shit Fairy? I don't understand.
Who would do such a thing?
Oh, man. Probably going to get a similar play here from Fearagent as well.
Mm-hmm. I've been struggling to figure out how I want to do my starting route in this game.
CrossKeys is always weird. Like, you have so many options.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing for me though is I don't want to like prioritize drop downs right away. Not until I at least have bombs, because you find back of the well and there's like nothing you can do because you don't have any bombs. Yeah, you can get. Well, I mean, you can get a few items, most of the items out of there, you're just gonna leave one behind. But leaving that one behind can be kind of annoying.
Yeah, especially depending on where it's at. If it's in a rough spot that you have to go back to, like Lost Woods, that's kind of out of the way, and going that direction, you just find yourself leaving that behind further and further.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
But I do like the Kakariko route, trying to get to Kakariko really fast to find out what's there, just because there's so many entrances in one little spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest problem with that start is you tend to find a lot of connectors, and you're like, all right, well, now what do I do?
The thing is, it really kind of comes down to where your starting locations are. Like, if you have a really convenient Kakariko access point, then sure, go for it. But if you're, you know, like in this situation, our escape sanctuary is in the Dark World. All we have really is Link's house to route the entire Light World in. And, you know, going to Kakariko is not convenient right away. Right. So, you know, you want to check stuff around you, which is why, you know, I liked where Fear was checking, like, Hylia Island entrances. Or, you know, we got Capwell here at Uncle, and Pod right at the entrance. There's our GT Big Key right off the bat.
Yeah, Pod being here is really nice because Well is right off to the right, so we're going to be able to get our bombs and do what we need to do. Yeah. Stack up on bombs, too.
Pod is a really nice bomb farm. Absolutely. And, you know, looking like we're going to see Mimic clips from both runners as well, maybe? Potentially? Maybe not.
Nah, I think Gylgamesh was only grabbing the bombs, just so that way they had as many as they could in one go.
I Mimic clip every time, just because I've definitely, you know, I've played enough CrossKeys seeds in my life that the few times that you Mimic clip and find the boots on the right side, you're like, okay, all right, that was worth, yeah. Nice full magic from that.
So we are getting a Mimic clip now.
Okay, so yeah, this could be a big find for Fear. If this ends up being something good.
With Mimic Clip 2, it also helps if you know it bufferless, because that's just so fast. Ooh.
Ooh. And the Pod small. Alright.
Pod small right outside of Pod. Interesting.
Yeah, hookshot here as well. Hookshot is really nice to find early, especially if you find your way up to, like, Death Mountain, and all of a sudden you have so many more entrances you can check now that you have the hookshot. Bufferless Mimic Clip going pretty well for Fear.
Had really good movement there for a second, and now the Mimic is giving him a little bit of trouble and not pushing up. There we go.
Yeah, he was just sliding down a little bit. Right,
so finding that Pod small, would you have gone back into Pod with that?
Nah, because I mean, it gets you 2 more checks. That's it. Meh. I would hold out and wait until I get, you know, another. Oh, we got a big key to Skullwoods. We got a flute on Laser Bridge.
Ooh, wow. That's a lot of, you know, 2 really good items early, and getting a big key this early, too, is nice. And it's just Skullwoods, though, is the only problem I would say with that.
It's nice. Obviously, if there's something in the Skullwoods big chest, then that'd be huge. You know, anytime you can go to a dungeon and, like, clear as much of it as possible on your first trip, the better. And there's been plenty of seeds where you get a late Skullwoods big and you're like, do I really want to go back just for 1 check? I mean, really?
Right. You know, yeah.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah, having to go back for one-offs late in the game, especially if you're looking for something like the Ice Rod or whatever that's gonna be locked anywhere, it's rough.
Mm-hmm, for sure. What was that?
That was my children being stupid.
Thought it was a bird.
It sounded like one.
I'm sorry, what was over at Maze Race? Did you catch that?
It was a bottled bee.
A bottled bee? Okay.
So if that's our first bottle, it's
well,
unlikely. Never mind.
Bottled bee. Oh wow, Fear is actually going back in.
Okay.
You know, the thing is, like, it's so tough to know what the best decisions to make are early in a CrossKey seed, because you never know, this play could be required to just get your Moon Pearl. And, like, well, that's...
Another thing, too, there could also be a pod key in here. So if you get a second pod key walking in through that front door, that's pretty nice.
It opens up so much more. Of course, you know, like, the back isn't in logic with just 2, but still being able to knock out more is always beneficial. So I can see both sides to that.
It's such a low chance, though. I mean, I think it's more confirmation bias that there's always a pod key in pod. Everybody, you know, knows that.
Pod key in pod, TR key in TR.
Right.
All the classic standards. All right, Waterfall Cave has a bomb. A blue goo. That's not a bad fight, especially early on when we're still running around with 3 hearts.
Yeah, that's useful. And the good news is that the bottles are all...
The classic early mire, you have hookshot, but you don't really have any weapons to deal with the Wizrobes.
Yeah, that's always rough whenever you have the ability to kill the Wizrobes with bombs, but it's just it's not fun. Timing that's just awful.
Yo, hookshot cave. All right, both runners, very divergent routes, both finding interesting stuff. Let's see who finds the better stuff gooder. That flute, though, is going to be huge for Gylgamesh, but it won't be long before Fear finds that.
Yeah, flute's great for early movement and not having to worry about getting all over the place. And Flipper's a sword. Wow, okay, this is huge. Whoa!
Wow, there was good items in every one of those chests. What the heck?
That was a 4 for 4. That was the true hype cave. That's wild.
Right, let's see where this hookshot's taking us. It's taking us up to Death Mountain.
So the Moon Pearl's right before you go into a Dark World spot. That's
perfect.
Interesting.
Let's see if Gylgamesh can pull some good stuff out of Paradox Cave here in Kakariko. So the nice thing is, with that flute in hand, Gylgamesh is going to be able to get over to the East Palace area quickly to find that hookshot cave and get all the stuff. Assuming that... The thing is, though, that flute's going to probably take him up to the mountain first.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Most people try to get the mountain out of the way pretty quick. I think it would only be, like, even better if, like, the mirror was right here at Agina's Cave that they just found in Spike Cave spot.
You almost said swamp because he just pulled the swamp small, right? Or swamp big.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But Mire small's not bad.
Just a piece of heart.
Yeah. So he entered from the, I think it was the top. This might be a trip back to Kakariko to finish things out before taking connectors. That's always the tough part about this mode, is just trying to decide when you want to go through a connector or when you want to, you know, finish what you were working on.
Right. I agree. Having to decide when to take a connector and when not to is a very rough thing, because sometimes you want to check it as fast as possible, get where you need to go, and get that out of the way so you don't have to worry about it later. But then you're like, well, I'm leaving all these other entrances behind.
I mean, it makes sense for Gylgamesh not wanting to at least activate that flute before taking any connector.
So
you'd be foolish to do otherwise.
Kid too.
Oh, there's Super Bunny as well. It's a
all
pretty nice, pretty nice Kakariko. Very, very lively. Oh, we also did see the archery game at Saha's hut here in the East Palace area. If you're deciding to farm a wee bit, get some dollary dues, probably for Bottle Vendor, and then eventually Zora, as well as any of the Dark World stuff. Or to buy some bombs. Good thinking. Good planning ahead. loving these Turtles music.
Yeah, this MSU is really good, too.
That's an activated flute. It's going to really come in handy, especially going to save some time here in the East Palace area when Gylgamesh makes their way over here. We have a Dark Cave at Flute 5. That is looking like... I was going to say it was looking like the Old Man Rescue, but that is looking like the Death Mountain exit cave.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a double Dark Cave. Which one's that?
It's the diagonal holes is where he's at right now. Really nice getting through that, like no trouble at all. Leads to Floating Island.
That's not bad. I wish we had a glove, though. That would be a lot nicer.
That's really good. Like, that's really good early information. King's Tomb up on the mountain.
Finding a lot of these one-item check caves and deals like that, King's Tomb and Waterfall Cave.
Mm-hmm.
So far, the biggest find was the super good hook shot.
All right, that's it for Fear's route. Let's see where he decides to go next. We did find Graveyard Ledge here at the, what I call Dancing Lady Left, or Kakariko DL, or shortened to KRDL. And I know exactly what that means when I write that in my spreadsheet.
You remember what I call her?
Elder's wife or something like that?
Mrs. Saha.
Mrs. Saha. I was close.
She is Mrs. Saha, yep. Because the OG story in game is that is his wife, and she tells you to go find him in the Eastern Palace area.
Find my husband. Gylgamesh.
The Sun Prize is full magic.
Only bombs going to be making their way through Hyrule Castle. With that Hyrule Castle small in hand, so, might be thinking, hey, maybe this is where my progression lies. And, going through this with bombs is fine. It's a little slower, but, it's really nice to get this out of the way and just be done. We're done! We don't have to touch it again.
Yeah, I kind of like the decision of going to Zelda Cell here, just because the save and quit is on the pyramid. So you know that you're most likely going to be locked pretty late if there's anything back there. So you're kind of making a decision that this is more in logic or more available than the back of Escape. So I can agree with this move.
Well, it's definitely not in logic without a lamp.
Right.
East Palace Small off the bridge, lad. That's not the nice thing about getting that Hyrule Castle Small is you don't have to worry about saves coming a key to check Zelda Cell and then check the back. You could just do all of it. So I can't imagine Gylgamesh would go for that right now, just because it's slow. You don't have a light source, and you don't even have really a nice way to kind of spot where you are in the dark. If he held off, found a sword, then maybe, or just wait for the lamp to show up.
Yeah, which we know where one sword's at least. So.
Myers Shed at the Capacity Ferry yields a small key another small key device. That's 2. While Zelda Cell having just some dollar dues.
Yeah, we're really not money starved this time around. We have a lot of the money farms available, getting some 50 drops and otherwise, so it's not going to be too bad paying for Zora and doing the pod pay and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice getting that early money. Waterfall with Bombable Hut only having a big 20. And
again, finding all these one-off places. Just not a lot of density when it comes to the checks. Just a bunch of one-offs.
So far we found what? Just Paradox Cave? For the, I guess Super Bunny. We got a small key on Zora Ledge.
We found the 2 major ones would be Hookshot Cave and Paradox. Those are the 2 major ones that we found. We haven't found Hype Cave or anything like that.
Or Blind's Hut.
Yeah, Blind's Hut, Hype Cave. We did get an easy accessible well, so we did find that, but that's usually pretty common to get that early. Ganon in the Woods.
Ooh.
Oh! Hey!
Massive find there.
So most likely a required Zora.
Yeah, I'd say so. Probably. And especially because Fear just found that entrance that got him up to Floating Island. Now he can go back and grab that.
Yeah, it's only very rare cases where a mirror is not required in CrossKeys, but yeah, that's a huge find no matter what.
Where are we going now? The thing is, like, what's unfortunate for Fear is just constantly going away from Kakariko. Gonna continue to miss out on that flute, which would be really nice just for, you know, time save. Mobility.
Fortunate 10 arrows on the Thieves' hideout. So we don't have to worry about Aga 1 for anything, actually. Aga 1, other than the first 2 checks, not going to be required.
Oh, there's a Thieves' Town. What is this song?
Good. This song is good.
It looks like Flute 1's going to be vanilla today. The backside of the mountain rescue point. Fear taking a connector up to that Dark Death Mountain spot and mirroring.
And it is a vanilla old man save, so...
I just said that!
You did? I didn't hear you say vanilla. I just heard you say finding it. My mistake. Sorry. I'm horrible. God, I'm leaving. Bye.
Well, here's the thing.
This is the ending song. This is the ending song, I think, when you beat the game.
The NES game or something?
Yeah.
People have actually beaten that game?
Ooh, nice find. The bow
Big
is...
bomb. Thieves and Swamp will be our Pyramid Fairy Crystals today. Big bomb at Mountain Save.
We haven't found Swamp yet, but we have found Thieves. So, and Thieves having the bow, which is going to be nice because it's going to allow us to do a lot in places like Eastern and things like that when we find the Eastern Big Key.
I guess for these runners, I'm obviously wondering where the boots are, but where's the glove? Where's our first glove? Yeah. Also, you know, well, there's not much we can do in GT if we find it. I'm just looking at the GT keys. Fear finding one of the Paradox Cave entrances here up on Death Mountain, so without that flute, there is one of the ways that Gylgamesh can get up the mountain, but Gylgamesh has the flute, so it doesn't matter. So, the good news for Gylgamesh is, despite not having that Moon Pearl yet, hasn't really, like, spent time doing bunny walking stuff, so hasn't really affected him at all yet.
Yeah, the Moon Pearl's not in a rough spot either. It's extremely easy to find, so I don't think it's going to be, especially with the flute too, most likely going to find that pretty quick and then realize, yeah, I've got Dark World completely open to me.
Just depends on if Gylgamesh going up the mountain first, which, you know, I was expecting it as well. Because, you know, you might want to hold on. Well, the Eastern Palace area is kind of a pain in the butt to route. It's just slow without boots. So, and you have so many more options up here on the mountain. There's our lamp. So, if you're gonna get the lamp, was that Ice Palace or was that
Ice Palace?
That was Ice Palace? Okay.
Yeah, that was Ice Palace.
Holy cow. We're finding all the goodies right away.
Yeah,
this is looking really good for Fear right now.
Yeah, I don't think either runner is in a particularly bad spot. I mean, Fear is definitely getting the better end of the item finds when they find other things. Finding the Moon Pearl before getting that connector, being able to clear that. The mirror being found when they did. They're kind of getting the right direction, but the flute is just... I'm not having the flute is costing time, 100%. So...
The funny thing is, Gylgamesh having the flute is making him miss, like, that, you know, that Moon Pearl and stuff, and maybe not routing as well. You know, missing on that sword, too.
Yeah,
and Flipper's leading to mirror, so it's almost like the flute kind of kept him from finding the good stuff.
Yeah.
We're still very early in, so it's hard to say. But right now, I definitely give Fear a little bit of advantage.
The flute does open up a really good routing option, though, for the eastern area, regardless of not having boots, because you can just route that awful spot all the way down in the bottom right corner, which Fear's already checked, but that starts you there, and then you can just go around, check eastern entrance, and then check Saha, and then go basically all the way down and go over to the Ice Rod area, if you have flippers or can do some sort of splash to lead over there.
For sure. Now, what's interesting here is Fear skipping out on checking the East Death Mountain hookshot stuff and going through Paradise Cave, finding their way to Kakariko, and now being able to check this stuff. It's like we are going to make a little dip into Turtle Rock for potentially Lava Chest and Chomps.
This is a one of the more scary situations to be in, even being an experienced runner. Even with Blue Mail and 4 Hearts, you're not impervious to Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock hits hard and is painful. So one misstep and then you're just in such a bad position.
Oh, I really like the utilization of this Burna to take out the Pokey. It's a little laggy, but hey, it's like your safest bet.
Monkey. The lag actually helps with the magic use, though, so that's not a bad thing. It actually slows down the magic use just a little bit.
Was that its Spiral Drop, I think? Either way, GT on East Death Mountain. Can't really do too much here without, you know, Canis Maria, Fire Rod, Hammer. Ew, you know what's gross? If Gylgamesh had that lamp, you could... I'm not even gonna say it. It's such a bad idea. I mean, you wouldn't ever do it. I'm just saying, like, climbing GT would be possible. But you would never do it. Nobody would do it. That's the dumbest thing ever.
It's awful.
Just putting it out in the world that, like, you know, my dumb brain would be like, oh, man. Like, if I was Fear and I found GT, I'd be like, I guess I could climb, but that sounds awful. And then I'd leave.
My third match had that required. It was so bad. It was awful.
Here's another thing. Fear can get that Master Sword now that he has Dark World Access, Flippers, and Mirror.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
Very useful. Very useful.
Aside from GT, let's see if there's anything else up here for Gylgamesh. No?
Looking like knowledge only.
A lot of junk. Alright, let me just double check to make sure.
Not the worst finds, but definitely not the best. So, finding GT and getting that out of the way and knowing where that's at for just check's sake is good. Considering we found 2 GT keys already, which is pretty much what the minimum required to be able to do almost a full clear of GT.
Oh, and by the way, chat, if I miss anything on either of their trackers, please yell at me. Please. B, you got your gold B back. Congratulations.
Money saved.
Money saved. Alright. Looks like Gylgamesh is heading in the direction of East Palace area. Gonna check these Lake Hylia stuff. Probably get the first item out of Aga Tower. We'll spot the sword on the island, and then... But yeah, the real thing I think right now for Gylgamesh is when do they make their way to Zora? Because that mirror in a CrossKeys is so important. Not even if it doesn't like technically end up being required potentially. Well, it probably will because of that lamp. And Gylgamesh knows that lamp is there, so I mean you want that. You want that mirror. It's just so nice for like routing efficiency. And, you know, not having to death warp out of dungeons and stuff like that.
Yeah, Mirror has similar implications to something like Flute, where it opens up a lot if you find the right connectors and just things can flow really smoothly with it.
Well, this is going to be interesting for Fear. Is this... No, this is the dam. Okay. Because they took that connector through Paradox to get into Kakariko, I wonder if they're gonna go north as opposed to going south. for routing and miss out on that flute for a little bit longer.
Yeah. It's hard to say when they're going to make it south, if that's going to be their next play with their current loadout and things like that, considering saving and quitting takes you into the Dark World to go to the pod area.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny. It's almost like how going into the Dark World works. It's like, okay, I'm right above Village of Outcasts. Do I do like north route of Dark World, or do I do Village of Outcasts south route? But instead, we're in the Light World. And here is all the goodies for Gylgamesh.
Yeah, really, having very good routing choices for Gylgamesh, coming into the Moon Pearl at the right time, not spending any time doing bunny walking and things like that.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It really didn't hurt him too much. And now, this works out perfectly. Gylgamesh can check this. It was an item cave up here. I think it was Agha's cave that had nothing in it.
Piece of heart.
And then can grab that lamp.
No, they cannot.
Oh, they still don't have the mirror, right? What was that?
They haven't been to Zora.
Hold on. Sorry, I was thrown off by Gylgamesh just walking off the edge again. Must have been looking at the map or something. Why couldn't the mirror have just been in Hookshot Cave? That would have been so much nicer.
One of the few times that going to Zora before doing a lot of this stuff actually is beneficial.
Oh, it's one of those things where it's like, well, I got the flippers, so, maybe there's something on Zora Ledge.
I'm going to call Glove being in the back of Escape.
That is funny for a different reason.
Oh, man. I'm like excited to see what's in the back of Escape now. This is like, okay, what's about to happen? What are we gonna get?
Well, this does feel like the next logical progression.
Yeah, I mean this is fully in logic. So
compass, lemon.
Oh
baby, such good stuff.
Like I said, all the gloves were in the back of Escape.
Yep,
not a single thing.
4 gloves. Well, this is good for Gylgamesh. Since Fear's going to be doing this too. I think we got like a... there was an Ice Palace small. No. That was on Fear's side. What was in here? Skull small, I think?
It wasn't anything too...
It was a boomerang.
I think there was a small key to somewhere, but I don't think it was anything that important.
Gotcha. Alright, what's our sunken treasure today? Just a heart piece.
Whole lot of nothing.
Bunk rocks? Bomb rocks? I mean, the thing is, especially with that Dark World start from Sank, our answer could just be chilling over. I mean, it could be on top of the castle. You get that Master Sword, you go to the top of the castle, open up CT, or, maybe our answer's over in the pod area, or, it could be freaking Dark Ice Rock Cave or something terrible.
Yeah, getting a Master Sword or even the Cape right now would be really good because it's going to be fast to get over to the top of a Hyrule Castle, so... I do like I said, I really enjoy whenever the Sank start is in Dark World. I like that a lot.
It's really interesting when it's like that.
It allows for a lot of different routing choices because pods open up to you. Once you get Hammer, you then can go to the Hype Cave area, stuff like that. It's just so much opens up with every item you get that it's... The progression involved is usually really interesting, and that's the starting point.
Well, this is good news for Gylgamesh. Looks like heading towards Zora. Gonna get their mirror. Was that the other side of Hyrule Castle leading to... Oh, I spoke too soon, because that's where Hyrule Castle is. Yeah, there's gotta be... our answer's gotta be somewhere in the Dark World, then.
I'd imagine we have Hookshot, so that's also another interesting access to be able to get to more of the Dark World.
Oh yeah, man! I can't imagine in a CrossKeys seed to be required to hookshot across the broken bridge. How often does that happen?
It's not even that. We would have to hookshot and use flippers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So like it's all of, well, sometimes you have the hammer, sometimes you have the glove to be able to do that hookshot, but just like the flipper hookshot combination is so rare.
It's funny because like when I play normal modes, non-entrance modes, and I start getting those pieces, that's where my brain goes. It's like, oh man, I need to go beat Aga to go hookshot across the broken bridge to get to the rest of the game. And
the only thing I don't like about the mirror being on Zora, well, there's a lot of things I don't like about it being on Zora. If there is something important on Catfish, it is going to absolutely suck getting there now.
Yeah. Just gotta hope that you never find a glove, ever. And can somehow beat the game without it. Obviously. Have we seen... oh, okay, we might have seen that already. Mountain Save Front, or Mountain Save Front is at the Desert Right location. That's cute. Gylgamesh gonna grab that lamp. And... man, I feel like I'm surprised... well, I guess it makes more sense because Fear wants to check out the rest of the Kakariko area, but...
yeah, they're not leaving that behind. They're going to have to go back up and activate their flute. When you're in Fear's position, getting the flute now is... that's rough, because you're now kind of split in multiple different directions. One of the only benefits is that they don't have to check 1 or 4. They don't have to check the eastern or the mountain flute spots. So,
I mean, I'd be a little bummed about getting flute then, but I mean, Fear managed to find connectors that got him up the mountain, and he's covered a lot of the overworld already at this point. So, yeah, I think it'd be different if you like already had both gloves, maybe, or like Mire area, or Desert Ledge was something important. I wouldn't be feeling too bad at this point. Now, if like Boots right there, then you'd be mad. He's like, man, I could have had these right away.
Gylgamesh immediately going into the Dark World. They're going to go up the... no, never mind.
You can get that sword first, probably.
Yeah, good call.
You want that sword.
I love it, though. This is a very good good play on Gylgamesh's end.
Doing the funny. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see, are we going to actually hookshot across and do all that, or are we going to go get that? I mean, I'd be wanting that Master Sword, like, ASAP, but hey, who knows? Maybe we'll find a sword here in Moldormcane at the potion shop.
This is a really interesting find. It's I think a glove here would be the best, because then you can just get Catfish done and not worry about it.
Sorry, bottle boomerang, that's the best I can do.
Right. And a key to Gant's Tower.
That's our third GT small. I mean, you look at the items, man. There's got to be something upstairs, right?
You know, it's the... how many times do I have to tell you this, old man?
I mean, personally, like, if I can route in an early GT climb, like, I'm not too upset. It's when it's literally like, okay, all I have left in the game is GT climb or Pendant Swamp, which do I do? That's when it sucks, for me personally.
Yeah.
And it happens so many damn times, too.
Yeah, I like this play, though. You know, going around, you're going to get to Village of Outcasts. There's a lot of stuff to check over here. Mm-hmm. You have Mirror to be able to check a lot of stuff. Worst part would be if boots are just kind of weird late, and then you have to come back to the King's Tomb spot for whatever reason. But
yeah,
we're talking about...
But you just have to, you got to roll with those punches. You can't really, you can't, like, a lot of times you want to plan for potential items showing up to route efficiently, like, well, I don't want to go to Zora until I find Mirror, so I can go do it with Catfish, but obviously that was never going to happen in this scene.
Right. I think the biggest thing is about it's worse for it to be a single item location like Catfish rather than a entrance, because entrances are like there's entrances everywhere. So the chances of that one entrance being something you have to come back to kind of smaller than an item being in Catfish having to go back to that. Mm-hmm. So it's a little less of a pain, but yeah, we're getting a lot of the information out of the way for this Dark World travel.
Yeah, we're still looking for... We haven't found Swamp. We haven't found Skull Boss. We're still missing parts of TR. We haven't found Hera. We haven't found any at Desert or Eastern, I don't think.
Yeah, we're missing quite a few dungeons, actually. Because we found Mire, we found Ice Palace, we found a couple of TR entrances. Haven't found Swamp. We found Pod.
Oh, there's a glove! There it is! Okay. That's such an interesting aspect now. Do you change your focus completely to now just start hitting up as many connectors as possible? Because that's what I would be doing. I want that damn glove, man.
That glove is in such a bad spot because now you have to find the connector to get up there or find the way to get up there.
Mm-hmm. And you know, there's no guarantee that we even have access to that connector. Like, you know, it could be like freaking like, I don't know.
It could be King's Tomb, actually.
Yeah, or you gotta get items and go backwards through TR, you know, something like that. Like, there's possibilities of it not being accessible, so, you know, it's the tough call you gotta make. Like, do I switch focus, or do I just keep clearing what I can?
The one good thing, though, is that we found the two entrances that are often, like, a pain in CrossKeys. We found Laser Bridge and we found Eye Entrance. So, that's good. The chances of the front of TR being required to get up there, kind of small. Still possible, but still kind of small.
Yeah.
Because we need to find that access. We need to find the cane.
Mm-hmm. So, I missed it. How did Fear get to the Village of Outcasts?
I missed that too.
Oh no, I think it was the backside of Old Man or Mountain Rescue.
Oh, really?
I think so, because that's where I saw him last. He was in the desert area, unless he like fluted somewhere.
I don't know how he would have gotten in there with the flute though, unless he like found the connector. But obviously, it wasn't in Village of Outcasts.
You saved and quit, and then started at Mountain, and then went through the back entrance, like the back exit. Is what I'm saying. Oh, unless
Right, he would have had to have done most of the same route that Gylgamesh did, and he didn't.
There's our TR big chest, so that's good info.
Yeah, that eliminates TR being just one possible bad situation where TR is the connection to that glove. Mm-hmm. So,
I wonder what's going through Gylgamesh's mind knowing that glove is there. Like, glove is just so like you're gonna need a glove. Like you're gonna need it. It's super important. And you know, especially the earlier you get it, the better, the more efficient you can route all your stuff. Gylgamesh trying to decide if he wants to check that connector or not, but he's like, nah.
So we're probably going to be getting similar checks from Gylgamesh and fearagent. Now they're kind of close to the high five in very similar areas. Mire connector. That's nice, but no glove to check the back of Desert.
You can mirror.
Oh, right, you can. You are right. I completely forgot about that.
Was that Desert?
You can actually mirror.
Was that Desert Main or Desert? That was one of the Desert entrances, right? That took us.
Yeah, it was Desert Front.
Oh wait, that's the old. Yeah, okay. So Village of Outcasts was the backside, or the bombable hut right there.
Okay,
gotcha. Ether is going to be our Mire medallion.
We haven't seen the medallion for Turtle Rock, but there's a lot to go to still be able to check that.
You know, I'm still kind of surprised that neither runner just like immediately took their mirror and flippers and got the Master Sword, and then go straight to the top of the castle. That's what I like. That would have been on my stupid mind the entire time. As soon as I got the mirror, like, I want it. I want the sword. I want to go up there. It'll be funny. Ooh, we got a hype cave.
Yeah, I kind of get it, because it's kind of like I know that's there, and having to go to get the Master Sword and then come back again to do the top of Escape. It's 3 entrances that would be helpful, and knowing where the glove is, I can see with Gilgamesh's information doing that. Like, that would be more likely for me if I was Gilgamesh than, say, fearagent, because not having the knowledge of the glove, I can see putting it off. Having the knowledge of the glove, I'd be searching every entrance I possibly could.
We did spot silver arrows in the hype cave in the mire, right? So that is a nice find to have early. It's a powerful weapon to have on certain enemies and bosses, especially while we're still running around with fighter swords.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing is, like, Fear... I think at this point, Fear is probably... Well, I don't know. I feel like both of them have just cleared so much over. Like, we've checked so many entrances at this point.
We really
and we're still missing a lot of dungeons. And especially now, like, finding this access to the mire area. You know, what do we got? We still have the pod area, we have the Dark Ice Rock Cave area, we still have all of South Dark World as well. So I feel like these dungeons are going to start popping up out of nowhere here pretty soon.
The mirror sound for this Turtles pack sounds like the Capcom sound. You know what I'm talking about? Like whenever Street Fighter 2 or whatever starts up, or Mega Man X, the or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It sounds like that to me. I know it's not, but that's just what it sounds like.
Arf.
Yeah, that's my corgi.
Aw, puppy. We did see bumper ledge from the desert area leading to TR entrance, and now we get to see what's on floating island. It's a shovel.
Oh no, Fetch Quest Island, Fetch Quest Island.
And an Eastern. Ugh, that sucks.
Yeah, no Eastern big key. I wish we had the big key. I guess going into Eastern's not a bad play, but you're leaving behind a lot.
I know you got a bit of a background noise there, bud.
Yeah, I know. I apologize.
Fear gonna check a connector. This might be our bumper ledge connector that Fear's gonna stumble upon. Nope, King's Tomb. That sucks. But you know, that is just how it goes sometimes. Cause I don't remember if Fear actually checked the bottom part of East Death Mountain. I don't think so, because I don't think he found GT yet. Alright. I think it's time to get that Master Sword. Eh? Come on. Come on, do it. It'll be funny. Fear's gonna go to... There's Swamp. Oh, how much can we do here? Nothing. Nothing. We can do the first chest. That's it. You're picking up Quake Medallion out of a checkerboard cave over outside the pond area. Which at this point is useless, because we saw that TR... Well, we saw that we popped out the other side of TR, so... But yeah, Gylgamesh picking up that Master Sword.
Again, apologies for that.
And... Fear also picking up the Master Sword almost simultaneously.
So we do get that virtual high five.
Mm-hmm.
Finally getting a pod area check, which has been put off for quite a while.
Yeah, Fear popped in here, grabbed Quake, and then kept going south to go get that sword. So we'll probably see more of it on Gilgamesh's side. And supposedly that was a medallion you need to open up TR, but we popped out the other side of TR, so...
Yeah.
Don't really... Oh, okay. Checking Hobo real quick. I think this is just some money or heart piece. Nothing to get too excited about. Listen, the seed is going to come down to boots at the top of GT. I mean, it's just look at what we're looking at here.
I thought he might have had a key. Isn't
Oh,
the
maybe
GT?
the... Oh, yeah, it was the
Tower.
ice smalls.
Yeah, I thought it was a small key. I just couldn't remember which one. I do like the fact that Gylgamesh was able to check the hobo with mirror. That's a really nice way to be able to check.
Yeah, it's a nice time save. All right, we are going to finally see... We're getting new info. Let's see who finds the dungeons.
What Willard's been drooling for the past 20
want
minutes.
to see the dungeons. There's a fairy drop-down cave here at CT left. CT entrance is gonna be beds.
Hotel Mario, man. That's
What am I saying? Koopa hotels.
that is a big big upgrade for Hotel Mario.
Wow. Why did you go to the castle? That sucked. Foolish choice.
Who would waste their time doing this?
I know, right? Bunch of goofballs.
There is a connector though, so there could be some use to this.
Hmm.
Possibly popping out and getting the glove. That would be pretty huge.
That'd be the best. Nope. Bonk rocks.
Okay. You know,
that's useless. Well, not for Fear, because I don't think Fear has not been to this section of the Dark World, so this kind of works out.
So that's what I was saying. Like that, they were done checking those spots anyway. So this connector is kind of useful to Fear, but only once. You're never going to use it again.
Mm-hmm.
And also eliminate the boot spot too. So you don't have to worry about that boot spot having to keep you from doing anything.
As for connectors,
did we already know this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We saw Gylgamesh do this. This is a blue rupee right here. I think there's still one desert, a desert main. I don't know if we saw Fear pop out of there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we checked the right side desert yet.
I think we saw all of Hyrule Castle. And it looks like the pod area is a bust. Big bust. It's a frustrating situation when you're like, I want the damn glove before I go to either Ice Rod Caves. And, you know, Gylgamesh is just hoping that happens, but no dice.
Yeah, it's rough not having a glove. A glove just stifles so much.
Okay, this was the connector that Fear took super early to get to Floating Island. And that's what I missed over at the swamp entrance was Mimic Cave. No hammer, so can't get that item. So this will get Gylgamesh a shovel. That's exciting, right?
Maybe that could be the first glove.
Yeah, you know, there is a possibility. It is progressive gloves, so that one on Bumper Ledge might not be our intended first one.
I mean, this could lead to a lot of stuff that we're still looking for right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, while our runners are swapping places, checking what others have done, don't forget, anybody watching, go ahead and check our runners. Don't give them a follow. I always appreciate people that let me restream their races. I know it sounds silly because a lot of times it's like, no, thank you for restreaming my race. So like, no, thank you for letting me restream your race. This is a lot of fun. I enjoy doing these. Red mail? Man, to be this close to, like, full clearing Eastern, this could be huge if, like, Gylgamesh stumbles upon the Eastern Big while they're in here.
Yeah, a French Vanilla Eastern would be pretty huge, because we didn't see any of this.
Yeah, Fear was like, nope. Fear did what most players would do, and bail. Big bail.
Maybe that's why I'm so bad at this game. Why I would probably go in and check all of this and leave it behind. Because why not? I don't know. I think of the items that could be in the front of Eastern Palace and the what ifs, and I end up doing it.
Yeah. I also agree with its location up here. Like, not checking this kind of seems a little reckless, in my opinion. But at the same time, like, as one of these runners, like, what are you looking for right now? Like, what's the big thing that we need right now? Aside from, like, finding that connector to get to the glove. I mean...
Yeah, the connector to get to the glove, you're looking for the other glove, Can of Samaria, Fire Rod. There's a... Fire Rod's probably the lowest on the list. No, actually not. Getting a Bombos or a Fire Rod would be nice. Hammer would be nice as well.
Yeah, I think Hammer's probably what these runners want the most, because then, you know, that opens up a full left side GT clear. That's a lot of checks, and just gonna knock those out. Samaria, what would that do? Samaria would let us backtrack through TR a little bit. We can get the crystal roller chest.
Yeah.
We don't think we have really enough keys to go to safely go all the way to the front of TR with it. We could. We also haven't seen Meyer at all from either runner.
Yeah, Meyer is also a big one. Now that we have more ability to check Meyer with weapons, another fetch quest.
We did see the Witch's Hut. That was up on the mountain. And it looks like Fear's going to come back, grab that shovel, and maybe we'll see that Eastern Dip from him.
Having to check real quick if they have the big key. They do not. We are surprisingly light on big keys.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember where Fear got that Skullwoods big. Where was that?
That's a good question. I want to say it was really early that they got it. I want to say that was one of their earliest keys that they found.
Hmm.
Mimic Clip, yes.
The Mimic, right. Mimic Clip, which would not be in Logic.
Right. Well, now it's not in Logic, but we have bows, so it technically is in Logic.
Okay. All right. Will
not
this
doing.
be...
I'm not talking about Mimic Clip being in Logic. I'm talking about the item we have.
I know. I was talking about now we have the bow, so it's in Logic. Okay. Let's see if this is our bumper ledge. It's not. That was our Meyer left. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where. I think it's right that we haven't seen yet for Desert.
No, I think we saw that as well. That.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't remember. Okay, Gylgamesh gonna get their silver arrows here in Hype Cave. Here's a couple checks away from getting that there mushroom. But yeah, this is kind of gross.
Yeah, we have every which way to go and really no idea which one's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
you just gotta climb GT, obviously.
Right, you've been calling that the entire time, and it's looking more and more plausible.
I would never want to do it, but our hammer's just probably sitting up there, Actually, I'd probably go to Meyer first.
Yeah, Meyer probably is the better play than climbing GT.
I don't know why, but Meyer's been just like a really strong dungeon in a lot of my CrossKeys races. It either has like the Moon Pearl or just some sort of progression that's important.
In something like CrossKeys, Meyer is really dense because usually it's only 2 items, but with the fact that all of those spots are open now, that usually would be keys, the map, and compass. It's a very dense dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And really only 1 check is locked. Well, excuse me. 2 checks are locked behind the big key. So you don't really have too much locked behind 1 item. So that really does help the fact that Meyer's just got a lot of...
Yeah. I mean, I think there's still some like Meyer small key rules that are in play, but I could never tell you what that is.
Yeah, the Meyer key logic stuff to me always is confusing.
Gylgamesh gonna check the front desert. Gylgamesh, I want you. I love the mirror on the top, so you don't have to go all the way down and around. That we saw on fearagent side because it's a little bit of time save. But yeah, maybe we'll see the right side desert from Gylgamesh. Maybe that is our glove. I mean, right now, if we do pick up a glove, it would make the Dark Ice Rod Cave and just Ice Rod Cave area in general look a lot better, but it looks like Gylgamesh might be checking Bumper Ledge instead, which is a one-way trip, unfortunately. Yeah, this is the first time Fear has seen GT. Of course, can't do anything much in the basement, but you know, could climb me. I don't know. I mean, with only 2 small keys, there's not much in logic upstairs. I think maybe Mini Helma's in logic. That's it. So you're really kind of going up here for 2 logical checks, which is kind of nuts. But, you know, it's the last round of Swiss, and sometimes you just gotta make big plays. Because remember, right, the winner of this moves on to the play-in race, the 20-person play-in race, and the loser is done with the tourney.
Yeah, this is a win and get another shot at life. So yeah, I'm this is the play you've been talking about. So let's see if it pays off. At an hour in, nonetheless, we're without hammer, fire rod, ice rod. At an hour in.
Yeah.
And no glove either. We know where one's at, but no glove.
I think I still would have probably gone Meyer instead of this. But Fear is up here right now. So it's kind of just like, well, since I'm here, I might as well go for it, I guess.
Well, there is we know what's behind the well, no, never mind. That's not going to even matter anyway. I was thinking Aga 2 might lead to something, but we already been to the back of Escape.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fear has been to the back of Escape, more importantly, and has found out there's nothing there. So
yeah, I wonder if Gylgamesh will make that play eventually. This Salfo's giving Fear a little bit of trouble there.
I think for Gylgamesh, that's probably something that's in the back of their mind, thinking about it, because that's a really rough thing. I mean, yeah,
a little sword slash, like, come on, because he's freaking out because he's looking for that damn glove,
right?
And so any connector that doesn't, I don't think so. No, I don't think Fear has been North Dark World yet. But any connector that isn't the one that he wants is like I would imagine is very frustrating.
Getting a shovel check.
Probably a mushroom check. Small key. To Turtle Rock.
Yeah, not the best, but not the worst.
I mean, now you're just looking for that Canis Maria.
Exactly. I'm always happy to have an extra TR key because it hurts whenever you're looking for stuff and you're trying these off-the-wall plays to, you know, maximize your checks and get some of the worst ones out of the way, and then you don't have a TR key to get the Tridents.
Right.
And you're like, crap, now where do I have to go for this?
Seed is really not giving our runners much of anything. I'm gonna be... I cannot wait to see what's upstairs here in GT. If this is the actual logical progression, then the seed is a real stinker.
Then the seed deserves the trash fire that it is.
I mean, right now, like, even just finding another glove would be huge. It just would open up so many options for our runners.
Anything would be huge here. Any sort of
and honestly, even finding boots wouldn't be that much because we popped out of Kingston, we popped out of the Bonk Rocks next to the bomb shop.
It would only be 2 checks, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have we seen what's on the GT Torch yet? I don't think anybody checked.
Yeah, it's
that.
junk. Give us an Eastern Big for Ultimate Lulls. Tempered Sword's nice. 10 Arrows is cute. It's not looking too great. I mean, here's the thing. Fear's gonna have this done and he never has to do it or think about it ever again. Like,
right.
That alone has some value to it. Obviously, probably wishing he had that Tempered Sword on his way up. Oh, no.
But getting getting Moldorm Tube almost immediately.
You know, really weird hitbox because he had his sword out, but he wasn't facing the right way. So. Now, if there is something at Moldorm 2 chest that's progression, then we got to ask ourselves where the other two GT smolts are.
Really just having a tough time with this Moldorm 2, but managing to pull it out and doing the deed, checking the chest. 10 bombs. 10
bombs. So that's really not great for Fear, but only if... Nice Desert Big. But only if Gylgamesh never does... Oh my god. Nice Eastern Big. Okay.
Wow. Those are two really nice big keys to find.
That aren't even in Logic, but hey. Who cares about Logic?
Aren't. The only thing that's in Logic with 2 keys is the boss, right?
Oh.
Or no, the boss is not even in Logic. No, yeah, because you could use it wrong.
Yeah, the only thing that's in Logic is like obviously the first
a second
chest.
key doesn't open up anything in Logic. Now that
yeah, you need I think at least 3.
Yeah,
because you have the first door, you have the vanilla big key door, and then you have the boss door.
Right. Yeah.
Skullwood small. Okay, well this is good for Gylgamesh. Finding big keys is always good. We take those, and we don't know what our prizes are at either of those dungeons. I don't even know if we saw a desert boss yet. I don't think we have.
No, I'm pretty sure we haven't. We haven't seen Skullwood's boss either, so we haven't seen either of the split bosses.
So it looked like one of I think the bottom of Paradox Cave kicked you out of the Dark Ice Rock Cave area, if I'm not mistaken, from glimpsing at what Fear Agent is doing. Find Spiral Cave over here. Let's see if there's anything good here. This might be our Bumper Cave connector, potentially. There's the eastern map.
I remember seeing this.
There it is.
Oh, this is it. Okay, yeah, I thought we saw that earlier, but I guess I am 100% wrong. But yeah, we're also getting an entrance here. This could be the back of Skullwoods or Desert Palace, which we've been talking about.
Power of Hera.
Or Hera. Yeah, that's fun.
Well, both runners once again finding good stuff on both sides. You're probably feeling a little bit better, making up a little bit from that unfortunate, useless climb.
And if Fear knows the bomb setup, we can do Herapod as well. It looks like they do. They are familiar with it.
Oh, this is the new setup. It's so free. Look at that. Easy.
Really?
Every time. It's so free. Like, you literally only have to do like 1 pixel lineup. Otherwise, you're just walking towards the blocks and then walking towards the bucket.
Pot. Yeah, he just snugged up against the pot and it worked out. That's wild.
Like, if you can't get obviously we don't have boots, so you can't do the boots, the spin speed one. But if you can't get the spin speed one your first try, then just do it that way.
Yeah, that actually seems faster than brute forcing. Well, obviously it's always going to be more free than brute forcing, but yeah, doing the spin speed setup can miss sometimes, and that one just seems really fast. That's a good setup.
Right, yeah. Hyrule Castle to the Ice Rock Cave area. I think there was anything over here. No gloves, so can't check the rock here. We have a Dark Palace small key.
And a confirmed crystal.
That's good too. Right, let's hear some Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Honestly, as far as like dungeon knowledge too, we really don't have all that much. We only know we have the ones that you find with the guys you talk to, which I think Gylgamesh has done as well. Gylgamesh did talk to the bomb guy.
Oh yeah, that was up in the mountain.
Yeah.
Right. That was Thieves and Swamp. Yeah.
Going back through using this connector. Using the mirror knowledge, but That's really nice. Hera being where it's at, it's really unfortunate that once we get the big key and the small key, that's in such an awful spot. It's like having swamp there or something. Like having a dungeon in that spot is just trash. It's awful.
It definitely could be worse. Because, assuming it was through Paradox Cave that spit you out in the Dark Ice Rock Cave area, you just have to go through a couple connectors to get there, as opposed to having to, like, actually manually swim down there.
Right.
But we're heading back into Eastern for Gylgamesh to get the big chest and the boss. Plan to find out if it's a pendant or a crystal. We did get a map, but that was on Fear's side, so we will not see what our Eastern is. But Fear is on the hunt. Gonna start checking all these glove spots that he just unlocked with that lovely glove. Sitting up on Bumper Ledge. Man. I mean, if you're an avid note taker playing this mode like I am, like, I'd be looking down and seeing exactly what entrances I still have left to check, and as well as which connectors I have left to check, and I'd be like, okay, Paradox Bottom, go.
Right. Yeah, you definitely getting to that spot as fast as possible is just for sure a thing. You have the knowledge. Knowing where a glove is at in this mode is so useful and so much.
See, at least, like, for me, I find finding a progression item at, like, Maze Race to be more frustrating than Bumper Ledge, because Bumper Ledge is always going to be via connector. But Maze Race can either be via a connector or having the mirror. So I'm like, do I start checking connectors? And then all of a sudden it's like, no, I needed the mirror to get this item on Maze Race. It could be kind of frustrating.
Right. And we're going to find out if Eastern is a crystal or a pendant, which is going to be nice as well.
Womp.
It is a pendant.
Womp. And we did find the powder in here. So that is another thing that Gylgamesh could check. And, if Fear, with map in hand, decides to never go back to Eastern, this could be beneficial for Gylgamesh.
Yeah, I think another one of the things that is
Oh no. Here's where Gylgamesh is gonna get mad again. It's like, oh, here it is. Here's my connector to Bumper Ledge. And right. King's Tomb.
Denied.
Denied.
That's almost worse.
Frustration has to be set for him. I can't imagine.
That's almost worse than coming out of the that other entrance that was a bonk rock, because you're in like this cage when you come out of it. You can't go anywhere.
Like which is even more annoying because you want to go right next door so you can do Magic Bat, but this works too. Also, word of advice: if you mirror to the wrong location, and you're trying to mirror quickly again, if you quick swap right after you land, you can mirror sooner. Because quick swapping will, like, because normally to flute again, you kind of there's a downtime before you can flute again. But if you quick swap, that fixes that. We also do see a pendant. Oh no, we already knew about the green pendant skull. Never mind. All right, mushroom turn in, magic bat check here on Gylgamesh. So I get all these fetch quests out of the way. We're gonna get $50.
So none of the fetch quests pan out.
Wasn't Shovel a small key though?
No. To Ice Palace, I think.
No. I think it was to TR. Maybe.
Right. Yeah, it was to TR.
Which seemed valuable at the time, but now that we know where the Bumper Ledge connector was, now we know that we probably don't need to backtrack through TR at any point.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This will be what Gylgamesh has been looking for. Here's the crazy thing. If you had just checked your Paradox Cave connectors at the beginning of the damn seed, you'd have a glove. So early. Like, it's nuts.
Because of course.
I think. Was this just a free connector? It was Spiral Cave, okay. You still had to work for it a little bit, but yeah, like...
we talk about this every time in the CrossKeys earlier. It's like, do you want to get your connectors out of the way? Do you follow the connectors you find? Do you wait? In Kakariko as well, if it's easy to get back to, you can follow connectors without much penalty. But this, you're following a connector.
Sorry, shit, I didn't even notice that Fear picked up a hammer in Skulls. Oops.
Oh wow, no, I didn't.
That's kind of a big deal. It wasn't in the big chest. That was a small key, but
Gylgamesh swiping at the glove.
Let's get your free hammer.
And gets to go in and find Hera.
You can hear the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's one of the reasons I'm not talking as much, because I want to hear the music.
It's so good. Is that actually our last TR small? Wow, it is. Gylgamesh has all 4. So this is going to be unfortunate for Gylgamesh going to pod without the hammer, because now Fear is going to be able to come in here and beat it. Going to leave behind 2 entrances, or two checks at Harmless Hellway and Vanilla Big Key Chest. This is going to be unfortunate for Gylgamesh. Seems to be the theme of the day. It's just rando gonna rando, man. That's just how it goes. It really depends on what's I mean, we don't even know if this is a crystal or not. So this could be our last pendant, and which Gylgamesh might be fine. The thing is, Gylgamesh has already done all this, so if and Pod is just sitting in the front of Hyrule Castle, you literally just start at Sank Mirror and you're there. So it's not a big loss. Oh no.
Yeah,
both runners getting mold-armed today.
And Gylgamesh did beat Eastern, so we did get that. It's a red pendant, so really, I mean, we haven't found the back of Skull Woods, but this might not be necessary. There's still a possibility that something could be sitting there on the pedestal. Pedestal is not dead.
Yeah, or green pendant turning. You just need to find the last Skullwood small. Or actually, I think we did, because the last Skullwood small for Gylgamesh would be in Pinball Room once they go there. This was Pod Small. Nice. Okay. I would assume once Fear's done here, probably heads up to do left side GT, but at the same time, I wonder if Fear's hoping to hold off for Samaria, maybe.
I guess. I mean, yeah, but right side is one of those things that I don't know. GT is one of those things that I feel like if you can go for all left, go left, and just leave those 4 checks on the right.
behind. Yeah. And
5, rather.
There's a good chance Samaria could be over there too.
Exactly. There's just so much to be over there with what we're missing, in the form of Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Samaria, even Book. Like we're missing so much that can lead places, and Boots as well. So Boots not as much, I guess, because we really don't.
Wear them boots.
Like having them with just more movement sake rather than entrances or anything at this point. So.
I mean, boots means you're having fun. Did he
exactly?
Fall? I don't know. Oh, Gylgamesh meant to fall down there. Oh no!
Oh no!
Not that it's a big deal. It's just kind of, I don't know. I feel like Gylgamesh might be getting a little flustered, just based on how long it took him after seeing the glove to actually find it. I'd be a little frustrated too. Is Gylgamesh hard? Wait, I'm confused. Oh, I see. Is this is a Rude Skullwoods. Also, we did have a crystal at pod. This is the one of the Skullwoods where the back is locked, I guess, in the back? Or the front is locked in the back, so you have to drop down one of the holes. because if Gylgamesh has already been here, which would explain why he didn't check the vanilla big key chest, then that would explain it. Stop by, check the stuff, but didn't want to get, like, you know, locked into the back or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's 4 GT smalls for Gylgamesh. There's that hammer. So here's the thing, Gylgamesh might actually do left side and climb GT, probably.
Poor Gylgamesh. Literally getting these items and feeling behind at 117 in the seed, I can imagine that.
Well, it was what? Save old man, and I mean, it's tough. It's tough making these calls. It'd be different if we had, like, much easier Dark World access.
The thing is that we, you know, it was very easy. I say easily, not easily. It was very fast that you could get there and get to it. Because we had hook shot and flippers and moon pearl, like, right away.
Well, or you just, you know, you go save the old man, you save and quit, and you take the backside connector to get to Village of Outcasts.
That
right?
too.
Especially with that early flute. There's our TR big. But, I mean, hindsight and all that stuff. Ugh. Yeah, I could very easily see Gylgamesh, especially with 4 small keys, go ahead and do the climb here, which would be good for Fear. We'll get that time back. Yeah, I mean, at this point, the only real different... Oh, yeah, I mean, Fear has a whole pod ahead of Gylgamesh. Well, Gylgamesh just has a useless Eastern ahead of him.
Possibly useless. Still don't know yet, because there still might be something on Pen.
True.
But getting less likely as we move forward, so... Honestly, if the seed turned out to be an all-dungeon seed on top of what it's already done, that's just rude.
I mean, I would not be surprised in the slightest. Well, there's our Ether Medallion. That will open up another entrance. So, I mean, at this point, we're still looking for... Dungeons are we still looking for?
I think we're only looking for the back of Skullwoods, and that's it.
The back of Desert, I think?
You know, I don't know if we have found the back of Desert yet. I don't remember that.
There's the mitts. All right, well, let's...
Ew.
Now you can do Smith Chain.
Yeah, so that means that glove was also available well, I say relatively fast. The hammer is available relatively fast, which can lead to a glove relatively fast. It's just long walks and nothing but pain.
Ooh. I really like that bomb setup that Fear just did there. You know, obviously no boots, so you can't do the cheeky boots bonk to get across the teleporters. So a little bomb setup works. Well, there's a gold sword. Two swords in GT?
Yeah, one in the climb and one in the big chest.
The downside about that for Fear is that completely eliminates anything, like any sort of like minor advantage from getting the sword upstairs.
Exactly, and honestly, it hurts Fear if Gylgamesh doesn't do the climb. So, but I don't see Gylgamesh skipping the climb, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be different if we didn't like have access to Mire yet. That you'd be like, oh, sweet mitts, let's go to the Mire area. I've never been there before, but like we need something here off of Ice Armos to really send us somewhere else, I think.
Funny thing is, if it's Kane, then I can see Gylgamesh still going up and doing everything. But if it's something else, like, I don't know, Fire Rod, I maybe would go to... God, I don't know. That's hard to say. Because you would still have to... I don't know what would keep Gylgamesh from going up. Like, I feel like going up is still the right play.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a toughie. I mean, what are the options right now are what? I mean, we still need Bombos or Fire Rod in order to go to Ice Palace. We haven't seen Mire at all from either runners, but obviously without Mire Big or Samaria, it's not a very fun-looking play. Gylgamesh could also go finish Pod. But the scary thing about that for Gylgamesh is that he doesn't know if it's a pendant or not. Though it's a much higher chance of it being a crystal now that he knows that Eastern is a pendant. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. What are you going to do, Gylgamesh? You going to leave? You going to climb? Yeah.
Holding up, yep.
I think this is the... I mean, it's obviously not the right choice, but it's definitely... With 4 small keys in your hand, like... It's better to do this now. And he's going to have a little bit of nicer time going up than Fear did, because Fear only had Master Sword, while Gylgamesh will have Tempered. And then eventually get that Gold Sword.
Very true. Nice little connector that we found here coming out of...
That's where Desert Right was.
I don't think we got these mirror checks. Either,
no, we did not. So this could be our Desert Boss, or Skull Boss. TR front. Okay, that's unfortunately not useful right now. But
can't even hover it, man.
Good to know. We've seen, yeah, right before this race, Fear was doing some hover practice, but no boots in sight, so can't really utilize that practice. Well, at this point, we've seen all of our TR entrances, so we have Mire entrance, Pyramid Fairy, Back a Skull. Now, these are not all things that we have access to yet, but these are places we could still check. Hammer Pegs, we haven't seen that yet. Hammer Hut in Village of Outcasts. I don't think we've seen that. So there's still a few spots left to look. And, you know, as someone that's experienced it quite a few times, like, it sucks when you're looking for dungeons and you last locate that entrance.
Especially when you're down to one dungeon.
Yeah,
when you're
especially
down to one spot.
When you have these less attractive entrances like Mire entrance or Pyramid Fairy, to go all the way to do those and have them be like a fairy fountain, a shop, and you're like, come on, man. Bruh.
Yeah.
Bro, hook me up.
And these two right here, again, just take forever because you have so many mirror transitions and things like that to check, and then it turns out to be fairies and a fortune teller. Like,
yeah.
You feel so bad at almost an hour and a half in it being nothing.
That's the thing is, like, I feel like... I mean, it's not bad because, fortunately, the smith is at the witch's hut, so doing smith chain is quick. It's just a flute away. But I'm sure a part of it is, like, I don't do smith ever, so I don't really want to go to the Village of Outcasts and do those checks, but... Where was this? This was TR entrance. So this might be the Hookshot Cave rock, which we haven't seen either, I don't think.
We have not, because this is the... we got both gloves really fast, and we haven't really checked any of the glove spots, other than the ones that are, like, right there below it.
Now that you're up here, like, do you just go ahead and do Easter? Okay. Well, this is good for Gylgamesh, so both runners doing... Well, we know the climb is actually not required. We still don't know about pedestal, so this Eastern play might be fine.
Exactly. And,
but, man, go... When are we going to see Mire? I feel like Mire's going to be... I mean, if I was in these runners' positions, I would probably still be hunting down Desert Boss and Skull Boss. But at the same time, man, we don't have the Desert Small, so Desert Boss isn't even in logic. Not that that matters too much.
Just imagine if you know, putting off Mire so long in Gilgamesh's position, having found the things when they did, and being frustrated by it. How frustrated you'd be if like the big key and the can of Samaria are vanilla.
Yeah, I mean,
like, putting off Mire when, like I said, it's only 2 checks that you can't do without those items.
You just gotta big shrug it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's really nothing you can do about it at that point. I mean, it made sense not to dive Mire the first time they found it, because they didn't have a useful weapon, and they didn't have, like, a fire source, so... I don't even think they had Mire Smalls at the time.
Yeah, like, going in and trying to kill the Wiz Robes in the position that they were in was not viable. You don't do that in this setup at all. You just don't.
I don't even think you can kill the Wiz Robes with bombs, so...
You might not be able to. I thought you could, but I could be completely wrong about that. I've never really tried to do it because I've never really cared to do it.
I feel like I tried recently in like a door rando seed, and I was like, oh, okay. No dice.
I don't even know if like Cane of Burna can hurt them. Can it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like Fire Rod and Ice Rod both hurt them.
They have their damage table is just really wonky.
Okay, so yeah, Daruk's saying that Wizribs do not die to bombs. I'm not surprised by that at all.
Oh, this is new info.
Oh yeah,
but we can get Crystal Roller as well. Boy, it is really going to come down to the last few entrances we have left versus a Mire Dip, I think.
Well, here's the thing too. You know, we're missing the Thieves Town big key. We're missing the Tower of Hera big key. Not that the Tower of Hera big key is like super important for any reason, other than just the fact that we've beaten Hera, so it does put something back in logic.
Mm-hmm.
But Thieves Town in particular is a critical one that we're missing. We need that big key.
Yeah, a huge find as well at this point would be a Swamp Small.
That
would open up a ton.
That in CrossKeys, that's another, or really any key sanity mode like that. That is a huge key to find because it's another Ice Rod hunt. It can't really. It has so many places it can be, and the only place it can't be is in Swamp. And a lot of times, if it ends up in the vanilla spot, I remember that used to be the biggest meme whenever key sanity started becoming a thing. That there was a pretty high percentage that it could be there, but nobody ever wanted to go check it.
That sounds right. Question: did Gylgamesh ever check Witch's Hut after turning the mushroom?
Yes, 5 rupees.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that I think Fear Agent checked that earlier too.
Okay. Yeah, the only downside for Gylgamesh now here in this pod, which, you know, it doesn't really matter for Fear until he comes back to it with more keys, but gonna end up isolating that Harmless Hellway, which is always terrifying to leave either checks behind in pod.
Yeah.
You know what else we haven't seen? The two rocks, the rock spots over in Ice Rock Cave and Dark Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, we have not seen those. We've again only been with the glove for a relatively short amount of time, considering how long the seed's gone, and we've popped out of those early. So
I was kind of half expecting after they found the glove to immediately turn around and go back through. Oh no, it was Spiral Cave. They couldn't.
It was Spiral, yeah. So they couldn't even go back, which is another kind of kick in the butt.
Chess game.
One-off check. What do we got?
Oh my gosh, the seed is so frustrating. Where the
yeah,
heck
every
is
time you find something that could be it, and it's nothing. Oh, we can go check.
Yeah, the Desert Rock.
Ice. We can also check Ice Palace now too.
Yeah, it's true. Skull Bit Boss, Desert Boss, Blind's Hut, South Grove.
What a find, man!
$20.
Yeah, you know, maybe Ice Palace is the play. Maybe it's going to be the. Oh right, we've already seen the pod area play.
Yes.
I think Gylgamesh already did that.
Yeah, Gylgamesh did like a combo route of pot Eastern with the mirror in hand and found nothing. I think.
So really going to check Ice Palace area, or rather the Ice Palace entrance. That we're running out of entrances to check. We're really running out of entrances to check. I can't think of any other ones that are available to us in our current loadout that could lead to something.
Yeah, either Ice Palace or we go back to Village of Outcasts for Hammer Hut or Hammer Pigs.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get the Mire Dip finally from Gylgamesh.
Okay.
Also, it is a crystal.
I'm almost certain something is going to be in here.
I mean, it kind of has to be.
Yeah, like
even if you find Skull or Desert, like it's 3 items max, while Fire still has all the goodies, or several chests to open up. So Fire Rod would probably open up the most. Fire Rod or Samaria? Because Fire Rod will get us into Ice Palace. Samaria will get us right side GT, as well as like one check in TR.
Yeah, I think Samaria. Well, no, Samaria gets us.
Swamp Small would also open up a ton.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Swamp Small would be another big one to find.
Thieves Big would be another one.
Yeah, that's big.
That would open up something.
That's nice. That opens up the entirety of Thieves Town now.
The only downside is not having that Thieves Small, and I can talk from experience that a Thieves Small can be kind of a make or break moment. Let me say.
Yeah, definitely can be a painful thing.
The thing is, we're still missing so many other small keys that, like, even trying to look for it before going to Thieves just seems kind of too much, I think. No, there's Skull Boss.
This seed's been stingy. This seed has been stingy on keys. And really, it's been stingy on good items, too. We really were late to the gloves because they were just so deep in the seed. Low sphere, but just deep into a seed. And we're also having the issue of Hammer being relatively late too, and hell of a place for those.
It's the perfect conundrum of the oh, you need boots to get into Mire. Well, boots are in here, so use your hookshot. That's crazy. We could have had those so early instead of 90 minutes plus in, but
so yeah. Useful item for sure. In the book, another useful item. Unfortunately, it's another fetch quest item.
Yeah, and it sucks to get it so damn late too. There's Bombos. So there's our Ice Palace entryway.
Yeah, that opens up all of Ice Palace. So that's yeah. I hate no half magic Bombos Ice Palace. I hate it.
Yeah, it does not sound fun. All right, anything else? We got 2 more checks here in Mire. $20. Boy. And now with the boots, maybe Desert Boss is going to be locked behind the boots at either Bonk Rocks or Link Bonk Rocks. I think those are the only 2 boot spots we have left that we haven't seen. We haven't popped out of on the other side.
Yeah, I think you're right. Bombs. So something was in there. Does it lead to anything? We don't know. It's definitely a useful item. We're going to be going fast in this seed for Gylgamesh.
That's the thing. If you're Gylgamesh, would you be feeling really bad about those boots? I absolutely would be if I got them that late.
I think it would weigh on me harder in Gilgamesh's position just because of when I've gotten other items. Mm-hmm. And realizing that those other items actually were available relatively quick. And knowing that my life is on the line in this, so it's weighing on me a lot more finding the boots where I did.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, because we had early hookshot, we had. I mean, it was still locked behind, Mir on Zora, which is kind of a tough one to route in if you're not, routing it in as opposed to just picking it up on the way. So it's still kind of deeper into the seed, so I don't think it'd be different if it was in the lobby chest or something. Then I'd be feeling a lot worse. But it being on left side, especially cutscene chest, I wouldn't feel super bad, but still a little bad.
It's just because of the way everything else lined up. Like, that's why it feels worse in this instance than it would in others.
I mean, getting boots at 90 plus minutes just feels bad no matter what.
Right.
There's the of course.
Of course.
Dude, this seed's got all the funnies.
Because
Boots and Mire, Fire Rod and Ice Palace, those are the classic funnies right there.
Yeah, pretty much. I have seen the net be in that stupid chest so many times.
B? Net? I see what you did there. I gotta say,
okay, we now have a weapon against Aga.
This seed is still... This race is still kind of hard to decide.
Oh yeah, this is anybody's game. This is not no clear like, oh man, this person's doing better in this instance by any means. Getting a old school hammer or bomb jump there, you don't see those very often anymore with the fact that Icebreaker exists.
The thing right now as well is we still don't know what our we don't know all of our dungeon prizes, so we still can't even determine what our go mode is. Gylgamesh thought he had the small key, which makes me a little nervous that maybe he made this decision based on the fact he was like, yeah, I can full clear it, but surprise, you can't.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep rolling with it.
Now, another meme is when the Cane of Samaria is in Ice Palace, so if we end up seeing that, it's going to be... Oh, wow, that's a big... Fire Rod and the Key to Swamp are both in Ice Palace. That's huge.
Well, we know where Fear's going next.
Where was Bombos again?
Bombos was at Hammer Pegs.
Oh, right. So, yeah, locked behind Hammer. And we know the back of Skull Woods was also behind Hammer as well at the Hammer House.
Yeah. There's a crystal for Gylgamesh. We didn't really find anything back here. I don't think. I think we saw anything of value here. All the good stuff was in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I don't think there really was anything in Thieves Town, and there's now an item check left behind, which... Oh! Stupid pixel.
Well, here's the interesting thing as well, like, until we know if T-Rock is required, we don't... I guess we... I mean, it doesn't matter, because Swamp Small is required no matter what, so we need to go in here. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm just wondering if Fire Rod is actually, like, required this seed or not. But since we're gonna get it no matter what, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm getting at. Where do you go next, Gylgamesh? It's looking like straight into Village of Outcasts. We'll probably follow suit, find that Bombos, and probably head to Ice Palace.
Yeah, if I am Fear Agent, though, as much as I'm probably cursing the seed, finding the Fire Rod in this instance is just... It makes me feel comfortable, because I hate Bombos and using that in Ice Palace. It sucks so much.
I mean, it's just...
It's both slow, and if you make the tiniest of errors with your magic, you then can't do it. You can't beat the boss. But it's easy to not screw up.
I mean, it'd be different. Like, Bombos doesn't cost that much magic. It's like, what, 2 Fire Rod shots? And without Icebreaker, you're not really spending any other magic in the dungeon.
That is true.
Alright. There's another Pod Small. That's all 6 Pod Smalls for Gylgamesh. Can go back to Harmless Hellway. Not likely to happen anytime soon. So what would benefit Fear a lot would be to find both Samaria and Meyer Big up in the Swamp Palace. That would be huge.
Yeah. Ice Palace having quite a bit available. And honestly, Ice Palace is a huge play. Getting the Swamp Small, getting the Fire Rod. We can check the back of Skull Woods now and see what's there. That could lead to something that we need. I mean, we still don't know what is on Pedestal. We do have the book, however, to check that at some point if Gylgamesh decides to do that. I honestly doubt that Gylgamesh makes the trip up there, in all honesty, because like it's a little bit out of the way. So,
not sure what Gylgamesh was doing here, unless this was just an entrance that he never checked.
Maybe forgot what it was and thought it might have been something.
I'm not sure.
Oh no! I was about to say can barely get them off screen. Getting dead rocked.
All right. So Gylgamesh heading to Ice Palace next. You're heading to Swamp.
So if you're Fear Agent in your current position, do you leave left side Swamp?
I think no. I think you just do everything. Because he doesn't know, he doesn't have all his dungeon prizes. He doesn't even know what his go mode is. And he's still missing too many things to really make a skip like that. But then again, if I you know, I'd be surprised.
If I knew all my dungeon info, if I knew all of that, I would feel more comfortable leaving left side or making that decision. But in the current instance, I still don't know if I need Ice Rod, and I do not want Ice Rod to be on left side swamp if I left it. Because it hurts more to not check left side swamp and it be important in this position than it does to check it and it not be something.
And because, I don't know, to me, this swamp location kind of stinks, so I'd rather just be done with it.
It's not the world's worst, because, it's a save and quit to Link's house, and then do the transition to go over there. So, it's not the world's worst. It's not like it's Tower of Hera, where once we get the Hera stuff, which we have the Hera small key, and we haven't gone back for yet. So
we probably never will, unless it's the last thing we have left to do in the game.
Is it a vanilla Hera big key?
Jeez.
That would be such trash, dude.
Hey, there's the Cane of Samaria, so Icebreaker was never happening today.
Once again, something locked behind what it needs. Yeah, that just so much is locked behind the other stuff, like, boots behind hook shot and fire rod behind bombos, and the seed has been awful. I'm glad I'm not playing this.
And yeah, we're hour 44 minutes in roughly. We still need a lot of things. So now, with that Samaria, you can... Because Fear did find the front of TR, he could go check the first 3 chests in front of TR. Or you take that and your fire and go back and do right side GT. This will probably keep Fear away from Meyer even longer, though. Because now he's only the Meyer big from being able to just do all of Meyer in one go.
But it's also very possible that the boots just aren't needed at all.
True, yeah. If he finds Meyer big next, then he's in a good spot. Because I feel like there really hasn't been that big of a... Well, there's the hair big. There, it'd be different if... It depends, I guess. If, Fear could maybe just never get those boots. He could just hit go mode before he needs to do cutscenes.
Boots can make up a lot of time, but it's one of those things that if it's not required, then you might just be better off not finding them in this instance.
Yeah. We still have a couple, at least the bonk rocks next to Link's house, I think, is all we have left to check for bonk spots.
Yeah, there was nothing behind actual bonk rocks over by Sank. So left side having the big key to Tower of Hera could be something we need. That's 2 checks in Hera that we now can go get to full clear that, which is probably going to be very late into the seed no matter what.
Yeah, I'd see Fear go to Meyer before going back to Hera. Absolutely, nobody's going back to Hera.
There's one point that I had no trouble with Diver Down. Diver Down was so easy for me, and then suddenly I just stopped being able to get it.
There we go. That's really good for Fear.
Oh, that's pretty darn critical.
Here's the thing. We still don't even know. Meyer might not even be a crystal. Who knows? Or no, it is a crystal, because Gylgamesh knows that. Oh my gosh, the Swamp Palace is nuts. That's... We might just be looking for Desert Boss for Go mode then, for Fear now. Because Thieves Town Big was in Meyer, right?
Yes. Really, that is just a lot of items, and Swamp, which honestly Gylgamesh is not too far behind on going to.
Holy, what a freaking stacked, what a freaking stacked dungeon, man.
Yeah, well, that's 2 stacked dungeons in a row, one leading to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So Ice having Fire Rod and Swamp Small to go into Swamp to get the Canis Samaria and 2 big keys.
And a required double dip of Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Logically, that's gross. So here's the big thing. The big turning point in this race could be if the desert boss location is at those bonk rocks next to Link House. Assuming we haven't found it, I've forgotten about it. I could see Fear go to Mire, clear it, get the Thieves Town big out of Compass Chest and be like, alright, I'm in Go mode, I just need to find desert, and then not do cutscene chest. And miss out on the boots.
Yeah.
Potentially. Because this is a Mire dip right now, it looks like. Or not.
And heading right over to Swamp Palace. Gylgamesh is going to be doing what fearagent just did. The biggest piece of knowledge that we need is whether or not desert or TR is required.
We're going to find out soon.
Yeah, I don't hate this play. It's very fast to go in here and beat Trinex. It's nothing at all.
And I guess because Fear doesn't know, I guess Fear doesn't have the Mire info, so would rather just go clear this, and then you can check the front 3. And, hoping to just completely skip Mire entirely if it's a pendant.
Right. And I mean, I don't... in this instance, I kind of would be like, all right, let's get this info and want it to be... I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I'd rather have the Mire be in Fear Agent's spot, Mire be a pendant, or Desert be a pendant. Because Mire...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Great. If Desert's a pendant, then the Thieves Town big is definitely Go mode for Fear. So that'd be huge. Yeah, I mean, if Mire's a pendant, you're like, I don't ever want to do Mire.
Exactly.
No, but Desert will be required.
So this might be forced into Mire to go find the desert back at Desert.
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't know where it's at, and it could be behind boots.
Yeah, that's basically Gilgamesh's last Gilgamesh's last out at this point.
I'm trying to think about where else the entrance to Desert could be. What haven't we seen? Back of Skull. Okay, so we have that. And then Pyramid Fairy. It could be Pyramid Fairy.
Pyramid Fairy.
Because with this, that will be Pyramid Fairy available for Gilgamesh.
True.
So that's one location that is definitely on Gilgamesh's mind, having Thieves Town already beat.
Yeah, and I would assume that Gilgamesh would probably, after finishing this dungeon, would probably just immediately go kill Trinex as well and hope that Desert's a pendant.
Yeah, I can see that happening. The fact that your loadout is just you're fully equipped, you're gonna be beating Trinex super fast. It's not that hard of a boss to beat in that setup. Finding out not a whole lot.
This is getting spicy.
Oh man.
Right side GT, okay. I mean, here's the thing.
What is
Gilgamesh is gonna get their Go mode in this dungeon, and we'll get to not have to do right side GT at all.
Right. So, yeah, there's nothing that can even be useful over here for fearagent.
So this might balance things out. Yeah, I gotta feel like Gilgamesh, especially if they never obviously they're probably never gonna go back to pod for the one item. Gilgamesh might actually be in a better position at this point.
I can see that. I can see that wholeheartedly. It's hard to say for either one because I feel like Fear Agent's still searching for items. I got to say I don't like this play. Looking at Fear Agent's loadout, you're not looking for items right now. Other than a map that would tell you information, you're not looking for items. You're looking for entrances.
Well, he's looking for Thieves Town big.
Right, he is looking for Thieves Town Big. Okay, that's the only thing he's looking for. That is his go mode.
I'm sure in his mind he's like, can I go mode Meyer, please? That'd be huge. Thank you.
Yeah. So that is also the case. I was trying to think what he could possibly be looking for right now, but even then, I think even looking only for one big key, I probably would be prioritizing entrances at this point to find that last one, because seeing that Turtle Rock was a pendant, having that, you have full knowledge. You have all your knowledge. You know what is what, so you know you are looking for the back of desert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he has all of his dungeons marked on his tracker, so I think it was just kind of one of those things where he was there, so he might as well just do it in case Thieves Town Big's there. Like, that's just a product of clearing TRs that put him over in that East Death Mountain region, and so just better to clear it and be safe. And so, yeah, I mean, Thieves Town Big could have been there, and then he would have been able to just go mode this dungeon and skip everything in here. Now, here's the real moment. Will he get the boots?
Right, which also could be required. Is he going to do cutscene chest after finding Thieves Town? Because, oh no, he's not. So the back of, so the back of desert could be boots locked.
It could be. There's only one more boots locked entrance though.
It's so at this point I think it's 50-50 on the entrances. It's either going to be Pyramid Ferry or it's going to be the boots. So
or Skullwood's boss. I don't think I still
right. I keep forgetting about Skullwoods. Yeah, that's another one.
So only 33% boots locked.
That's still a very high percentage for it to be painful to not get those boots.
And Gylgamesh gonna head back and go kill Trinex, get the pendant, know the info, and yeah, we'll probably have no reason to go back in and check the stuff there. So
yeah, so Gylgamesh does have the Meyer Big Key. They got that out of Ice Palace, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. Swamp. So yeah.
Swamp had Cane, Ice Rod, and 2 big keys. Pretty nuts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I remembered Ice led to Swamp, which led to like everything. That was the big key to the, well, you know, pun intended, I guess. The big key to the seed, that those 2 dungeons just led to everything in the seed.
And then the thing is, after Gylgamesh gets this pendant, it's, you know, a race to kill Blind versus a race to kill Vidi, and then it's a race to find the back of desert. I feel like this is going to actually get relatively close, but it really could just be who picks the right last entrance. And, you know, collectively we know what we have left, but, you know, I don't know what each individual runner still has left to check entrance-wise.
This is also interesting to note that, you know, you have the bullet to Vidi, which is a relatively long trip to the back, and then you have to go through the entirety of Thieves Town, which is also a relatively long trip, probably about equal. And it could all come down to not having the boots, and all the time that Gylgamesh has had the boots, the extra stuff that Gylgamesh has done, rather than Fear Agent, he's making up all that time.
This is going to be... well, the other thing is, he's going to check the back of Skull, it looks like. Well, here we're going to find out. Are boots required for this seed? Will this be our desert boss? No. So Fear... Wow. Getting a little lucky there. Not going to have
so
those
that
boots.
Leaves a 50-50 now between where it's at. It's going to either be behind the... Big Bomb at Pyramid Ferry, or it's going to be where Fear is headed right now.
And yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. I'm still, 100% sure who's cleared what, and this was, or checked what, and this is one of the entrances that Gylgamesh had not checked. Is this our desert? No, it's at the Big Bomb.
So, Swamp Palace is done for Gylgamesh. They have the ability to get that. Thieves Town is not done for Fear Agent, so they have to go kill Thieves Town. They do not know where the boots are, and the boots are in the vanilla big key chest of Meyer. They're going to check the Big Bomb before worrying about where the boots are. They're going to, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're not looking for items anymore at this point.
Exactly.
I mean, Fear would be looking for boots to check those spots, but he's gonna check literally everything else first. So it was Ice Palace. We talked about it and then we forgot about it.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot about this spot that we haven't checked because they went and got their sword around the time that they had the knits and never went in there.
Oh man. Yeah, and Gylgamesh going checking all these rock spots. So Fear looking to be in the probably in the lead at this point.
Yeah, well, Fear is in legitimate go mode. They have all the knowledge. They have everything. Where Gylgamesh is still looking for the back of desert, and that's like they're they're going. Yes. So before checking the big bomb, they're deciding to go and find the back of desert, and they're going to the right spot. Gylgamesh just.
I mean, this is just arguably the right choice. Like, big bomb sucks. You have to go up the mountain. You have to get the big bomb. Then you have to go to a portal and blah blah blah. But boy, this is going to be close now. So it really is going to be. I mean, this might just be the difference between the boots. The boots might be the difference maker.
Really could be. Execution and boots.
I'm just glad we're getting a close. I love close races. They're so much fun to comment. Man, so we had access to that Ice Palace entrance as soon as we did left side GT.
Yeah.
That's nutty. But that's just, I don't know, it's an easy one to put off when you have so many other things to still do.
This is one of those seeds that, like, like, after going through it, you're like, man, there's no one in their right mind that would have ever god routed this seed. Like,
right. No way in hell. You know, and funny enough, like, the only thing that's really keeping Gylgamesh in this race is all that extra stuff that Fear did.
Right. And the fact that Gylgamesh makes up the time that they had to spend on any extra stuff they did with the boots.
So what's faster? Misery Mire or with boots or Thieves without?
I mean, I think that's no contest. I really think Mire with boots is going to be a lot faster. Well, can you even set up a spooky in this situation?
I don't know. I don't do spooky, so I don't really pay attention to if or if not we can do it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, is, you know, maybe if they both entered each dungeon at the same time, it'd be like, maybe Thieves is a little faster, but, you know, Fear's already in here. He's already halfway there, pretty much, kind of, maybe. And, you know, based on what I've been watching, you know, aside from, like, a little bit of flubs here and there, like, you know, I think both runners had a little bit of trouble with the gauntlet earlier, and both runners took at least one Moldorm fall.
Mm-hmm. I think Nerves has gotten both of these runners at some point in this match, 100%.
I mean, they both know what's at stake. Like, they need to win this to stay alive in this tournament. Oh wow, Fear checking an extra chest. I wonder what he's looking for.
Boots.
Oh,
Boots.
Yeah.
It's not a super long check to take. If it's boots, you benefit from it. So, man, if you look at this too, Fear doesn't have book, doesn't have shovel, doesn't have a lot of the things that Gylgamesh has found.
Sorry, he does have shovel.
Oh,
I think he did.
He does. Okay.
I don't know if he ever checked it.
I couldn't remember if they did.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, he did miss out on some of the, you know, like the book checks, the boots checks. You know, you got to save a little bit of time there.
Absolutely. Which, I mean, I don't know. It's
and that's Ganon is apparently in the Lost Woods, so
right.
You know, both runners can get there relatively quickly. This is kind of crazy. This is gonna be close.
Yeah, look, I'm telling you, Mire with boots is not. It's not the fastest thing, but it sure as hell ain't that slow.
They're gonna get to the boss at the same time. Holy cow! That's incredible.
That's nuts, man. And the text box on freaking blind is gonna make blind so much slower.
Oh man.
So awful.
Alright, Gylgamesh. Last crystal. Heading to the Ganon fight. Fear not gonna be too far behind.
So Boots and Silvers actually had a huge part in this because of how fast you can kill Viddy with Silvers.
I mean, there's a lot of factors that could have altered this race. I don't like to be like, well, the only reason so-and-so won because of this thing that happened right at the last second. Which, if one of these two just, like, completely biffs it on Ganon, I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look how close this is.
This is so close. Gylgamesh in at 202.50, getting the text box at 55.
Who's gonna have the better Ganon? I mean, you are decked out. Like, if this could just be literally who gets a triple.
I love this.
And it's nice because, there's no way you're gonna miss the 1-1 and have that decide.
And are Ganon teleports the same across the seeds? Did they do that at some point? Or
yes.
Is that
still... Like, this is going to be the exact same fight. I think unless you mess up, if you don't get the 1-1, then you'll still have the same warps. They just won't be in the same positions.
Gotcha.
I think it only changes how many warps it is if you make it to that warp point and then fall or die. Okay, this is close. The winner of this moves on into the play-in race for a chance at brackets. Ganon set up for a really nice... You could get a double off of that, Gylgamesh. Oh, he's gonna get a double off of that.
Oh, that was actually really smooth.
Oh my...
Oh, no, missing the torch glitch. Oh my god. They literally are like... Oh, man.
I don't know if this will be close enough to be a tie, but...
What?
2,
3... Done.
It's oh my god! It's a 2-second difference, which is technically a tie.
Oh my god!
They're gonna have to retime this one. Oh my gosh!
Holy shit! That is nuts. Well played, both runners, man. That's nuts. Wow.
I mean, like, I don't know what to say. That's crazy. What a nasty seed, and yet we're gonna have to retime this. I don't even know who to give the little Triforce to. I don't know who
just
won.
Put it right in the middle above the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past thing. They both get one right now. This is oh man.
They're gonna have to retime it. I mean, we can't. I don't know. We don't have any power here to call it a tie or not, but Race Time has it at a 2-second difference, but they'll have to go back and check frames and stuff like that, so we'll have to see. But holy cow, thank you guys for... I'm so glad we got to restream a freaking tie. A potential tie.
An extremely close race. 100%, like...
Here's the little Triforce. Here it goes. It goes right there.